Own game, yeah, I plan to die in Thailand.
By the end of this video, you will want to move to Thailand because after my trip and after I tell you how these two United States military veterans live in Thailand full time, you will thank me later. So what am I talking about? What are you talking about, Aaron? Well, you see, I went to Thailand. If you haven't watched that video already, go watch it. But I went to Thailand and I now know why there's plenty of not only veterans, but ordinary people like you and me who live in Thailand full time. But before I tell you not only why and how to move to Thailand, I have to tell you about myself and these two veterans. The reason why I joined the military was because I'm young, I want adventure, I want to see the world, but I don't want to pay for it, essentially. And that's why I joined the military. And the military has gave me that. And I'm not glazing the military, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not for everybody, it's hard work, but it definitely has allowed me to travel.
If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Forrest Lee, an American expat living in Bangkok, Thailand. Before that, I was in the Army for 6 years. I'm born and raised in the San Francisco Bay Area. Grew up there, went to college over in Southern California. I got out after four or 5 years of college. I got out and I enlisted in the Army. I did close to 6 years in the Army. Generally, people that would receive their college degrees, they would commission as an officer. I decided to go a different route. Went through the enlisted route instead, and I did a 5-year 18 X-ray Special Forces program.
Growing up in Cleveland, you really, back then, and yeah, I'm 40 now, so back then you really didn't. Growing up in the 80s and the 90s, the options for black men, or the presentation of the options for black men, generally fell in line with military service or sports and kind of music. That's when music was really kind of kicking in as a career for a lot of us. And it was always in the back of my head that I was joining the military. That was just how I was raised, how we were trained. So I was basically an Army guy / Air Force guy the first 3.
This isn't sponsored by Thailand Tourism. This is just like you and me talking, having a conversation, and opening your mind about possibly at least traveling outside of the United States of America, because it's just it just hits different, and it doesn't hit you until you do it.
I think my last 2 months before I ETS, I told myself that I wanted to backpack in Southeast Asia. Obviously, once I ETS, I worked immediately, and at that point, I was like, you know what? Why am I prolonging this trip? Let me go travel for a bit. I'm not getting any younger. I think for my trip, I did for 2 months. I still remember my first night checking into my Airbnb and stepping outside and smelling the organized chaos of the streets of Bangkok, the street food of these old like Thai aunties like yelling. But no, they're not yelling, but they're like super nice. But it's like they're operating their food stand. Wonderful time exploring different parts of Thailand, meeting expats, meeting digital nomads, meeting locals. Then I traveled to Vietnam, and then I traveled to Myanmar. So just traveled 3 countries over those trips. And yeah, I got back 2 months after that, and I couldn't stop thinking about Thailand. You know, I couldn't stop thinking about it. It just stayed in my mind.
What did you like about Thailand that stuck with you?
What I feel about what's lacking in America and in the West is that family values and the whole culture of like family is slowly dissipating, and it sucks to see, man. When it comes to Thailand is a very traditional, conservative family values. That's probably one of the biggest things why I love about Thailand so much. You know, the kids really respect their parents. You know, where I would compare that to the States, and it just seems like the emphasis of the family structure and family values is slowly disappearing. One thing I've noticed is that when it comes to America and a lot of Western countries, individualism and individualistic is more highly valued. You know, because I mean, naturally we live in a capitalistic society, you know, which makes sense. You know, whereas in Asia, especially in Korea and in Thailand, it's more of a collectivist system.
The cost of living in Thailand, when I was in Thailand, I did not worry about money once. And to put this into perspective, if you go to New York City and you want to rent a 1-bedroom apartment, I want you guys to put down in the comments how much you think it's going to be, because it's going to be on average $3,000 or more. Now, if you get that same exact 1-bedroom apartment in Bangkok, Thailand, where I was at for a little bit, that apartment's going to be on average at least $400 converted, mind you, $400 to however expensive you want to get. So you can see how far the United States dollar stretches.
So let's say if you're a single person, you can easily get a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom condo for around $430 a month. So that's, you know, in a pretty nice, comfortable neighborhood. You know, the place that I'm living right now, it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. but I'm paying around $850 a month. I see that's pretty damn good for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. If you go up further north over in Chiang Mai, I mean, you can get as $350 to $400 a month. And I think a good baseline for somebody, a good baseline would probably be $2,500. There's plenty of videos where you can live in Bangkok for $900, but what are you going to do? You're going to eat ramen noodles 3 times a day? You know, that's not realistic. What, you're going to stay in your condo and not go out and meet friends and have beer or anything? Very unrealistic. So I think $2,500 is a good, you're living, I'd say, above average means in Bangkok. And if you were to live in Chiang Mai, then your dollar can stretch out furthermore.
My next point is the culture. Yes, if you guys notice, America is going through a bunch of changes and you might not like the changes. But when I was in Thailand, the people were very friendly, were very welcoming. Most people in Bangkok, Thailand spoke English. The infrastructure has English in most of the restaurants, stores, you name it. It's not very different from New York City. It's an international city. And not only that, you can be yourself in Thailand.
Thailand in general is they accommodate a lot of people. So whether, doesn't matter what country you're from. There's no craziness compared to the United States.
It's like, I feel so safe here, honestly.
It's very safe here because it's a very welcoming culture. The Thai people are very resilient people. Like, I can be quick to judge. They're very quick to understand. At the same time, it's a very conservative culture, despite the whole like lady boys and stuff like that. It's a very conservative culture, and they place family as a big importance in Thai culture.
And so when I was in Thailand, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that immensely. And on top of that, I felt safe because surprisingly, the United States ranks lower than Thailand in terms of safety out of 134 countries. Think about that. And in continuation of that, you're not going to hear this rainbow and sunshine story from me either. When you decide to leave your country, your hometown or whatnot, you're gonna come into problems because you're gonna be alone. You're going to go to a different place, you're going to go to a different culture, and you're just gonna think that you're just gonna embed yourself instantly. No, there's gonna be times of loneliness. There's gonna be times where you don't understand the culture because you're not from there and you don't speak the language.
And then there are times that you'll solo travel by yourself and you'll experience great level of loneliness, and you learn how to operate, how to be lonely, and how to be comfortable with yourself. Maybe you come from a background where you always need people to be around you, and then when you're traveling by yourself, being alone, a lot of times this is going to be an unfamiliar feeling with you that you're not going to know how to handle loneliness. It's good to learn how to be alone.
Going deeper into that, Thailand offers visas that go up to 5 years, and there's also more visas that they offer that you guys can leverage to live in Thailand for an extended period of time. And Forrest Lee talks about that.
I'm on the Thai privilege visa. Okay. I'm on the 5-year.
Oh.
So that's the premium visa that you have. But there's many options you can do. Let's say you're working remotely at some tech job or whatever. You can also get the education visa and also learn Thai or learn Muay Thai or whatever things that they offer. So that's roughly around 12 years. No, not 12 years. 12 months to 15 months.
Okay.
So there's that one option. I guess you can do the tourist visa where you can go bounce back and forth. But then after a while, immigration's going to catch on and be like, hey, this is going to be your last time until you find something more stable.
Yeah.
Or you can, let's say work for a Thai company and maybe they'll have you placed onto their company, and then at least you'll have your business visa with that particular Thai company. So those are some options that you can do.
I got you.
Because if you guys are in the military, you guys have the distinct opportunity to learn high value skills, learn how to travel and integrate yourself in different environments already.
Going back into the military route though, like say you just watched this video, you're inspired by us to, potentially live in Thailand, but you're still in the military. How do you think is like one of the best routes to kind of prop yourself up, while you're still in the military, if you know for sure you want to like live in Thailand or wherever?
Well, number one, go on a scouting trip. You may like the Philippines, you may like Europe, you might want to just stay back in the States. Go on a scouting trip. And number two, maybe just build skills and
save your money,
save money, invest, maybe find a remote. I tell everyone this, it's like, have something lined up before you deciding to move here. Because if you end up coming over here with nothing lined up, that money's going to run out pretty quick.
Yeah.
So come here with a purpose and already have something lined up before you do decide to make the move as a remote worker.
Yeah.
But I want you guys to get inspired from this video and realize that you guys can indeed be the person that you dream of and live your dreams and accomplish your goal. And do not be limited by the environment that you're currently in. As long as your mind is outwardly, all you have to do is just wait till your physical catches up. And so, like the video. If you haven't watched the Thailand vlog, watch the Thailand vlog. It was truly an amazing experience that not many people get to have. And so I do not take that for granted. Go watch it, get inspired. And even if you're by yourself, man, just go out and enjoy your life. You don't have all the time in the world to just be anxious and worried about what people are gonna think about you, you know? Take risks, take chances, be bold, be courageous, be fearless, and live your best life. Peace out. I love each and every single one of you boys. Join the Discord. Mama. Bye-bye.